I must state that for safety, honesty and cautious reasons, the information in this video was gathered through research on the internet. I am not telling you to do anything in particular. Your choices are of your own volition. Seek medical advice for further knowledge. Does your BMI, body mass index, even matter? Yes, the BMI matters as a useful, quick screening aid for weight-related health risks like diabetes and heart disease, but it's imperfect because it doesn't distinguish muscle from fat. It varies by ethnicity and isn't ideal for the youngsters, elderly or very muscular individuals. The BMI is best used alongside other health indicators like the waist circumference and lifestyle factors for a full picture. Why the BMI matters? A screening aid. An easy way to gauge potential weight issues, whether it be underweight, overweight or obese, for the general population. Predicts risk factors. Higher BMIs correlate with increased risk for serious conditions like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and certain tumours. Population health. Useful for keeping a grasp or documenting the changing weight trends in large groups. Limitations of BMI and where it falls short. Body composition. It doesn't differentiate between dense muscle and fat, so athletes can have high BMIs but low body fat. Ethnicity. Different ethnic groups, for example Asian and Black, can develop health problems at lower BMIs, requiring different targets. Age and gender. It does not account for age-related muscle loss or biological differences between genders. Fat distribution. Doesn't show where fat is stored, for example around the waist. What could you do instead, or as well as doing the BMI check? Consult a GP or specialist. Discuss your BMI and overall health with a healthcare professional. Measure your waist circumference. A more accurate indicator of visceral fat possibilities, especially when combined with the BMI. Focus on lifestyle. Prioritise diet, physical activity, stress management and sleep for overall well-being, not just a number. The BMI is a valuable starting point, not a final verdict. It highlights potential issues but needs context from other health metrics and clinical judgment for a comprehensive view of your health. Why does my BMI say I'm overweight but I don't look it? According to medical professionals, for some people, BMI can be skewed. If you have a lot of muscle mass, such as in athletes and bodybuilders, your BMI will be overestimated. In seniors and people with less muscle mass, the BMI might be underestimated. What does a BMI tell you? BMI is an estimate of body fat and a good gauge of your chances of certain ailments that can occur with more body fat. The higher your BMI, the higher your chances of developing certain ailments such as heart disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, gallstones and certain tumours, along with other breathing problems. What is the BMI of 70 kg? For example, an adult who weighs 70 kg and whose height is 1.7 meters will have a BMI of 22.9. BMI values are age independent and the same for both genders. Compared to a normal weight status, the risk of having additional ailments or comorbidities becomes greater with increasing overweight. BMI is calculated by dividing your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared. Here's how to calculate your BMI. Measure your weight in kg. If you only have your weight in pounds, you can convert it to kg by dividing by 2.205. Measure your height in meters. If you only have your height in feet and inches, you can convert it to meters using an online calculator, or by first converting to centimeters and then meters. Then you'll need to square your height in meters. Multiply your height by meters by itself. For example, if your height is 1.75 meters, then it's 1.75 times 1.75, which will equal 3.0625. Divide your weight in kilograms by the squared height. This result is your BMI. So we'll use this equation to calculate my BMI, for example. Age 45, 75 kg equals weight, 1.70 meters equals height. Height squared would be 1.70 times 1.70 will give you 2.89. So the weight, which is 75 kg, divided by height, 2.89, will give me the BMI of 25.9. Now again, as always, I'm going to keep it real here. I go and check the result of my findings and it says slightly overweight. Now here's the reiteration. Body composition. An individual with a high amount of muscle mass might have a higher BMI without increased health risks associated with excess fat. According to medical professionals, for some people, BMI can be skewed. If you have a lot of muscle mass, such as in athletes and bodybuilders, your BMI will be overestimated. In seniors and people with less muscle mass, the BMI may be underestimated. So going from what you see in the reiteration, coming from the medical professionals, the numbers say the weight is slightly off. But the body composition of myself and those with muscular fitness built physiques, we may see this type of result. It in no way says that they are at health risk or in bad shape at all. Is 20% body fat realistic? 20% body fat in men is common and generally acceptable for health, especially if your waist measurement is 40 inches. For heart and metabolic risk, central fat matters most. Keep a record of your weight measurements and, if possible, your visceral fat also. Muscle mass. BMI doesn't distinguish between fat and muscle. Highly muscular individuals might have a higher BMI without being unhealthy. Overall health. BMI is just one factor in overall health. Other factors like diet, exercise and lifestyle choices play a significant role. What BMI qualifies for Ozempic? This would be 30 or higher. The BMI requirements for using Ozempic for weight loss follow general medical guidelines for anti-obesity prescriptions. Ozempic is typically considered for adults with body mass index of 30 or higher, which falls into the clinical obesity region of the scale. Consult a healthcare professional. If you have concerns about your weight or BMI, it's best to consult with a GP or registered dietitian. They can tailor for you your individual needs and provide personalised advice. Does BMI change with age? Yes, the BMI tends to change with age. Generally, BMI increases from adolescence to middle age, peaking at around 50 to 60 years old, and then declines in older adulthood. This is because body composition shifts with age, with fat mass typically increasing and muscle mass decreasing. According to the Health by science, Stanford Center of Longevity and Very Well Health. A detailed explanation. Adolescence to middle age. BMI typically increases as individuals develop into adulthood and approach middle age. This is often due to a combination of factors, including lifestyle changes, hormonal shifts, and a natural tendency for body fat to accumulate. Middle age. The BMI often peaks in middle age, typically around ages 50 to 60. This is when individuals may have the highest levels of body fat and the lowest levels of muscle mass. Older adulthood. After middle age, the BMI tends to decline. This is primarily due to the natural loss of muscle mass, which is sarcopenia, that occurs with aging. Additionally, older adults may have reduced appetites and caloric intake, further contributing to lower BMIs. Check out the previous videos, you'll see a video on sarcopenia. Other considerations. BMI limitations. It's important to note that BMI doesn't differentiate between muscle mass and fat mass. This can be a limitation, especially in older adults, as muscle mass tends to decrease with age. Individual variation. BMI should be interpreted with caution, as there is significant individual variation on how the BMI changes with age. Different factors, such as genetics, lifestyle, and overall health status, also play a role in BMI and how it changes with age. How to lower the BMI. To lower your body mass index, focus on a combination of diet and exercise to achieve a calorie deficit and muscle build. Gradually reduce your daily calorie intake, opting for nutrient-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, while increasing physical activity. Dietary changes. Create a calorie deficit. Reduce your daily calorie intake by 500 to 1,000 calories to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Try not to crash diet. Make sure you're eating properly and getting the right kind of nutrients throughout the day. Don't do the crash dieting thing, they'll go against you. Dietary changes. Prioritise nutrient-dense foods. Focus on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein sources. Limit processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats. These contribute to weight gain and can negatively impact your BMI. Consider portion control. So be mindful of serving sizes to avoid overeating. Make sure your eyes are bigger than your belly. I remember I used to get told that when I was a youngster. Why you don't put too much food on your plate? Why your eyes not bigger than your belly? We don't like waste food around ya. The echoes of the elders' teachings when we was youngsters. I'm sure some of you can relate. Not all of you, but some of you. We still got respect for certain elders in our families, innit? Like we should, yeah? Those before us. Those that have lasted the test of time. And the others which are gone but never forgotten. Let's not forget them. Dietary changes. Stay hydrated. Drinking water can help with weight management. Increase physical activity. Engage in regular exercise. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week, like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming. Incorporate strength training. Building muscle mass can boost your metabolism and help you burn more calories. Find activities you enjoy. Make exercise a sustainable part of your routine by choosing activities you find fun and engaging. Lifestyle modifications. Set realistic goals. Aim for gradual weight loss to ensure long-term success. Make a record of your progress. Monitor your weight loss, BMI and activity levels to stay motivated. Get moral support if that's what you need. Share your weight loss goals with friends, family or a healthcare professional for encouragement and accountability. This can be a good idea when people go to the gym. Obviously, some of them have gym partners. It's just for that extra push. Not everyone can stick to a certain routine or a certain pattern all by themselves. So it's understandable. Sometimes you do need that bit of motivation from somebody else. It's understandable. This here, what I've just said, yeah, keeping the motivation and having someone to push you along. This is another reason why I'm grateful for some of the people in my family, you know, who I've had my eye on. Even though they might not think I have had my eye on them and see how they keep themselves motivated, dedicated and disciplined in certain aspects of their lives. You know what I mean? This is the reason why I'm able to sit here by myself without no guidance and keep this push going. You know what I mean? Whether there's a little bit of a disappointment here, disappointment there, discouragement to the left, a helping hand to the right. You know what I mean? This is the discipline thing. And as long as you keep your eye on the goal and the winning point for yourself, whichever that may be, it'll be easier to keep discipline. Now, if you haven't had that while you've been growing up, you haven't been able to view someone within your family or someone close to the family keep that discipline, I can understand it can be hard, and some of you might need that push from somebody else. Like I say, it's understandable because not everyone can stick to certain routines and patterns. What is the healthiest BMI for a woman? The ideal average BMI for a woman is between 18.5 and 24.9. Above this BMI, a woman would fall into the weight categories of overweight and obese, while a BMI below 18.5 is classified as underweight. How much weight can you lose in a week? A healthy and sustainable level of weight loss is generally considered to be 1 to 2 pounds per week, according to health organisations. Losing weight too quickly can lead to health problems such as muscle loss, nutrient deficiencies, and metabolic changes. A more detailed explanation. Recommended pace. Most experts suggest aiming for 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss per week. Why this level is healthy and safe. This pace is considered safe because it allows for fat loss while preserving muscle mass and avoiding other negative side effects of overly fast weight loss. I think I said that a bit too slow, you know. Right, let's go again. Why this level is healthy and safe. This pace is considered safe because it allows for fat loss while preserving muscle mass and avoiding other negative side effects of overly fast weight loss. Yeah, that's the process. Not every slide comes out correctly the first time. Sometimes you got to pick up a rhythm. You got to know where to pause, where to start speaking again. That's just the process of how it goes. So sometimes getting through some of these videos can take 2, 3, sometimes the longer ones even 4 days. You've got to get the rhythm right to make sure everything sits and sounds correctly throughout the video. That's just the process. Just giving you a little bit of insight to what actually goes on there, yeah. Also as well, when it comes to some of these medical terms that you're hearing in some of these videos, what I try to do is, first off, I'll try to pronounce it myself. It doesn't always go right. I'm not in the medical sector. Yeah, so what I like to do is I'll go over to YouTube and I'll check how to pronounce certain words. So I do apologise if some of them are off, but because I've checked and I'll say the word continuously for 30 seconds or a minute or so, then I'll put it within the video. So more time I've got to pronounce certain words correctly. A more detailed explanation. Risks of fast weight loss. Losing more than 2 pounds per week can lead to the loss of muscle mass, water weight, and even bone density. It can also cause health issues like gallstones, nutrient deficiencies, and metabolic slowdown. Factors influencing weight loss. Individual results vary based on factors like metabolism, activity levels, and initial weight. Why is BMI no longer considered accurate at times? One reason is that a person with lots of muscle and minimal body fat can have the same BMI as a person with obesity who has much less muscle. The BMI varies because average body fatness also varies amongst people of different ages and whether they are active or sedentary. That means it can be misleading in some people's situations. How to lose belly fat. You'll have to focus on a combination of a healthy diet, regular exercise, and stress management. Aim for a calorie deficit through a balanced diet, including plenty of fibre and protein, and by limiting sugary drinks and refined carbohydrates. Incorporate both aerobic and strength training exercises, and prioritise sleep and stress reduction techniques. Dietary changes. Calorie deficit. Create a calorie deficit by consuming fewer calories than your body burns. This can be achieved by reducing portion sizes, choosing lower calorie foods, and avoiding sugary drinks and processed foods. High protein diet. Increase your protein intake as protein can help you feel fuller, potentially leading to reduced calorie consumption and increased muscle mass, which can help with fat burning. Fibre-rich foods. Include plenty of fruits, vegetables and legumes, which are high in fibre. Fibre can help you feel full and satisfied, potentially reducing overall calorie intake. Limit refined carbohydrates. Reduce your intake of refined carbohydrates like boring, unnutritious white bread, pasta and pastries, as they can contribute to weight gain and belly fat. Healthy fats. Incorporate healthy fats like those found in avocados, nuts and olive oil, as they can be beneficial for overall health and may even help with fat loss. Hydration. Drink plenty of water throughout the day, as it can help you feel full and potentially boost your metabolism. Exercise. We'll start with aerobic exercise. Engage in regular aerobic exercise like brisk walking, running, cycling or swimming. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity per week. Strength training. Incorporate strength training exercises to build muscle mass. Muscle tissue burns more calories than fat, even at rest time, which can help with long-term weight management. High intensity interval training, otherwise known as HIIT. Consider incorporating high intensity interval training to burn more calories in a shorter amount of time. Other factors. Stress management. Chronic stress can lead to increased cortisol levels, which can contribute to belly fat. Incorporate stress-reducing activities like yoga, meditation, or spending time with nature. Adequate sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night, as sleep deprivation can disrupt hormones that regulate appetite and metabolism, potentially leading to weight gain. Limit alcohol consumption. Alcohol is high in calories and can contribute to belly fat. Reducing or eliminating alcohol consumption can be beneficial for weight loss. Other factors. Consult professionals. If you have any underlying health conditions or concerns, consult with a GP or registered dietitian for personalised advice. By making these lifestyle changes, you can effectively reduce belly fat and improve your overall health. Some people might ask themselves, why do I look fat but my weight is normal? A common medical term for this phenomenon is metabolic obesity, normal weight. It's usually used to refer to less muscle tone and strength, as well as a relatively high body fat percentage despite having a normal BMI. This term is often used negatively to describe somebody who isn't physically fit. Is BMI accurate if you lift weights? Lifting weights can give you enough additional muscle mass to be considered overweight according to the BMI charts, but you can't gain enough muscle to be considered obese without using steroids. So if you lift weights, stay in shape through regular muscle building exercise or work, and have a muscular build, you shouldn't be worried if you're overweight according to the BMI charts. How much good is it to walk according to the BMI? If your BMI falls in the range of 18.5 to 24.9, which is considered normal, daily brisk walking for about 30 minutes could be ideal. For those with a BMI between 25 and 29.9, regarded as overweight, it's recommended to walk briskly for at least 45 minutes daily. Does drinking water help you lose weight? While drinking just water won't cause significant weight loss, it can be a helpful aid in the weight management plan. It can help with weight loss by potentially suppressing appetite, boosting metabolism, and making exercise more effective. How water can aid with weight loss. We'll start with metabolism. Studies suggest that drinking water can temporarily boost your metabolism, potentially increasing the number of calories you burn. Calorie reduction. By swapping out high-calorie beverages like sugary drinks with water, can significantly cut down your daily calorie consumption. Appetite suppression. Drinking water, especially before meals, can help you feel fuller, potentially reducing your overall calorie intake. Exercise. Staying hydrated is crucial for optimal physical performance. When you're well hydrated, you can exercise more effectively, which helps burn more calories. Important considerations. Water alone is not a weight loss solution. Significant weight loss requires a combination of a healthy diet and regular exercise. Individual needs vary. The amount of water needed daily varies based on factors like activity level, the climate, and individual body composition. Listen to your body. Thirst is a good indicator, but it's also a good idea to be mindful of your overall hydration levels, especially when exercising. While water isn't a magic bullet for weight loss, it plays a supportive role by potentially reducing appetite, boosting metabolism, and improving exercise performance. What is replacing BMI? A new study suggests waist to hip ratio may be a more accurate indicator of health and the chances of getting an illness than the body mass index. In a study, a lower waist to hip ratio was associated with overall better health outcome. Another question you may be asking yourself is, why am I gaining weight so fast when I barely eat? Gaining weight despite eating less can be perplexing, but several factors can contribute to this, including medical conditions, hormonal imbalances, lifestyle factors, and even your body's response to undereating. Potential causes: medical conditions. Certain conditions like hypothyroidism, which is an underactive thyroid, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, Cushing's syndrome, and even heart, kidney, or liver issues can cause weight gain. Hormonal imbalances. Hormones play a significant role in weight regulation. Imbalances, such as those related to the thyroid or the hormones of a person's gender, can affect metabolism and fat storage. Medical prescriptions. Some medications like certain antidepressants, antipsychotics, or corticosteroids can list weight gain as a side effect. Inconsistent or restricted eating. Eating too little can lead to a slower metabolism, making it harder to lose weight and potentially causing your body to conserve energy. Poor sleep. Small, interrupted or bad amounts of sleep can disrupt hunger hormones and increase the wanting for high-calorie foods. Stress levels. High stress levels can elevate cortisol, a hormone that can lead to increased appetite and fat storage, especially around the abdomen. Fluid retention. Conditions like edema, fluid retention, can cause rapid weight gain, especially in the limbs, hands, feet, face, or abdomen. Underestimating calorie intake. You might be underestimating your calorie consumption, even if you think you're not eating that much throughout the day. Metabolic slowdown. Your metabolism naturally slows down with age, or it can be affected by drastic calorie restriction, crash dieting. What BMI is a diabetic? A high body mass index is a significant risk factor for type 2 diabetes, with the risk increasing as BMI increases. However, it's important to remember that type 2 diabetes can also develop in individuals with normal BMIs. Conversely, some individuals with obesity may not develop type 2 diabetes, highlighting the complexity of the relationship. A detailed explanation. BMI and type 2 diabetes risk. Generally, a higher BMI is associated with an increased chance of developing type 2 diabetes. Specifically, a BMI of 25 or more is considered overweight, and a BMI of 30 or more is considered obese. Obesity, often measured using BMI, is a major risk factor for type 2 diabetes, with about 90% of people with type 2 diabetes being overweight or obese. Not everyone with high BMI develops diabetes. While high BMI increases the risk, not everyone with this will develop type 2 diabetes. Some individuals with BMIs in the overweight or obese range may not develop the condition, while others with normal BMIs can develop type 2 diabetes. What are 10 warning signs of diabetes? 10 warning signs of diabetes include frequent urination, excessive thirst, unexplained weight loss, increased hunger, fatigue, blurred vision, slow healing sores, frequent infections, tingling or numbness in the hands or feet, skin changes like dark patches or itchy skin. A detailed explanation. Frequent urination. This can be due to your kidneys working overtime to flush out excess sugar from your blood. Excessive thirst. High blood sugar can lead to increased thirst as your body tries to compensate for fluid loss through urination. Unexplained weight loss. If your body can't use glucose for energy, it may start burning fat and muscle tissue for fuel, leading to weight loss. Increased hunger. Even with increased food intake, your body may not be getting the energy it needs, leading to persistent hunger. Fatigue. High blood sugar levels can interfere with your body's ability to convert food into energy, causing persistent tiredness. Blurred vision. High blood sugar can cause swelling in the lens of the eye, affecting your vision. Slow healing sores. High blood sugar can damage nerves and blood vessels, hindering the healing process. Frequent infections. High blood sugar can weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to infections. Tingling or numbness in the hands or feet. Again, high blood sugar can damage nerves, causing tingling, pain or numbness, especially in the extremities. Skin changes. Darkened patches of the skin or itchy skin can be signs of insulin resistance, a precursor to diabetes. What are the signs or signals of diabetic legs? Diabetes can cause a variety of signs and signals in the legs due to nerve damage, neuropathy, and poor circulation, peripheral artery disease. These signs can include tingling, burning, pain and numbness, and muscular weakness. Foot problems like ulcers, infections, and changes in skin and toenails are also common. Detailed explanation. Neuropathy, related signs. Tingling, burning, or pain. These sensations often start in the toes and the feet and can progress up the legs, particularly at night. Numbness. A loss of sensation, especially in the feet, can make it difficult to feel injuries or temperature changes, increasing the chances of complications. Muscle weakness. Nerve damage can lead to weakness in the leg muscles, affecting balance and mobility. Sharp jabbing pain or cramps. Some people experience intense sudden pain in the legs or feet. Extreme sensitivity to touch. Even light touch can be painful for some individuals. Peripheral artery disease, PAD, related signs. Pain or cramping during exercise. Pain in the buttocks, thighs or calves that subsides with rest is a hallmark of PAD. Reduced or absent pulse in the feet. This can be an indicator of poor blood flow to the lower extremities. Skin changes. Skin discoloration, dryness, dry skin breaking, and slow healing sores or ulcers can be signs of poor circulation. Swelling. Poor circulation can cause swelling in the legs and the feet. Hair loss. Hair loss on the toes, feet, and lower legs can indicate reduced blood flow. Here's some other foot-related signs and signals. We'll start with thickened yellow toenails. This can be a sign of fungal infections or other problems. Changes in foot shape. Over time, diabetes can affect the bones and the joints of the feet, leading to changes in shape and function. Foot ulcers and infections. These can be serious and require prompt medical attention. If you experience any of the signs and signals like these stated, it's crucial to consult a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and management of diabetes and its complications. What does diabetes fatigue feel like? Diabetes fatigue is a feeling of persistent exhaustion and absence of energy, often described as lethargy, that can impact both physical and mental well-being. It's a common occurrence in people with diabetes, stemming from issues with how the body utilises glucose for energy. This fatigue can manifest as tiredness after minimal exertion, difficulty concentrating, and even a general feeling of being unwell alongside being tired. Other contributing factors: hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. This can cause fatigue, confusion, and even loss of consciousness. And I don't mean the spiritual consciousness either. I mean the consciousness where you fall asleep and you close your eyes. You can be awake and conscious, but not spiritually conscious. Hyperglycemia, high blood sugar. This can also lead to fatigue as the body struggles to process the excess glucose. Diabetes complications. Conditions like nerve damage, neuropathy, or kidney disease can contribute to fatigue. Prescription side effects. Some given diabetes prescriptions can cause fatigue or drowsiness. Sleep disturbances. Diabetes can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to fatigue. So, in summary for this video, body mass index, the BMI, is a measure that uses height and weight to estimate body fat in adults. It's a quick way to categorise individuals into underweight, healthy weight, overweight, or obese. That being said, the BMI doesn't account for factors like muscle mass, age, gender, or ethnicity, so it's not always an accurate indicator for overall health. How it's calculated. The BMI is calculated by dividing a person's weight in kilos by the square of their height in meters. How it's calculated. BMI ranges and what they mean. Underweight, below 18.5. Healthy weight, 18.5 to 24.9. Overweight, 25 to 29.9. Obese, 30 or higher. Severely obese, 40 or higher. Now, when you check it out and you look around on your day-to-day, whether it be in the supermarket, on the bus, walking through town, at work, you look and try and gauge what the BMI would be of most or the majority of people around you. In this day and age, we're not really living healthy lifestyles, are we really? Check it out. Most people's BMI these days would be way higher than 40. Here's where the limitations begin. Doesn't differentiate muscle from fat. Muscular individuals may have high BMI but low body fat. It doesn't account for age, gender, or ethnicity. These factors can influence body composition and affect the accuracy of BMI as a health indicator. Not suitable for everyone. It's not recommended for youngsters, pregnant women, or athletes. The significant linear and quadratic growth rates of BMI for both genders indicate concave patterns of age change in BMI, where BMI increases from adolescence to middle age, peaks between age 50 to 69 years old, and begins to decline after the age of 70 years old. Is the BMI outdated in the UK? While body mass index is still widely used, it is increasingly considered outdated as a standalone measure of health, particularly in the UK. It doesn't account for factors like muscle mass, body composition, or fat distribution, which are crucial for assessing overall health. Studies have also shown that BMI can mislabel a person's health when compared to objective measures like results from tests for cholesterol and blood sugar levels. Despite assumptions we've come to accept as facts, the evidence linking weight and health is inconsistent, this coming from medical professionals. So in short, the BMI is a useful screening aid for populations but may not be the best indicator of an individual's health status. It's important to consider other factors alongside the BMI, such as waist circumference, medical history, and lifestyle choices for a more complete picture of health. Happy navigation. Good luck.